And welcome back to Talk of the Town. This is our final segment in today's show. Joining me, I have Tony Castaneda. He's the band leader of, this is a mouthful, the Tony Castaneda Latin Jazz Band.
Yes.
Did I get it?
Yes, you did.
I've been practicing.
Good job.
Thank you so much for joining me today, Tony. You have an event coming up. We're going to talk about that. But before we do, let's talk about the kind of music that you play.
All right. Well, we are a Latin jazz band. We've been around since 1998. Latin jazz is jazz music that implements the elements of Afro-Cuban percussion and rhythms along with it. So it's a fusion of Latin music and jazz.
I have to say, I was listening to some of your music, and it kind of made me feel like I was on vacation somewhere.
Oh, okay.
It had sort of that happy, sort of maybe tropical feel to it or something.
That has a lot to do with the instrumentation and you know, the percussive instruments.
And that's your department,
yes,
right?
Yes, it is.
You play percussion as well as being the band leader there. You said you've been together since 1998, and that's pretty impressive for a band.
Mm-hmm.
Bands are together and apart, back and forth all the time. And you've actually been doing it even longer than that. How long ago did you start?
Well, I started playing Latin jazz music in Madison in 1978. We had a group, Old Mecca, which was together for about 15 to 20 years. And
wow, that's really
just
amazing.
kind of evolved into this group.
Very good, very amazing. So the event that's coming up is called the Indigenous Jazz Series. Tell us about it.
Well, it's put together by the Greater Madison Jazz Consortium. And what it does is it features local groups here playing original music. And it's called, I guess it's called Indigenous, because it's kind of digging jazz.
Okay.
But of course, jazz is indigenous to this country, you know. This is the last in this series for this year.
Okay. It's coming really soon. It's
yes.
Friday,
May 12th.
May
yes.
12th.
7:30, yes.
At, let's see, the Madison Central Library?
Yes, Central Library, 201 West Mifflin Street, right across from the Overture Center.
Okay. Not only is this neat because they're local musicians with original music, which I think is really fantastic, but it's free admission.
Yes, it is. It's
How can
free.
that be? That's so great.
Well, the Greater Madison Jazz Consortium has done a great job of raising necessary funds and working with a lot of jazz musicians to kind of ask them what they want, what they think is good for Madison, and what they need as musicians. And musicians, one of the most important things they need is to get paid. So they do a good job of paying the bands well, and they have a great setup. They've provide the sound and seating probably for several hundred people in this space, and they find these spaces, and they're doing a great job. The Jazz Consortium's probably been around now for 5 years or so.
Okay. So it's Friday, May 12th, and it's at 7:30 p.m., so maybe a fun way to kick off Mother's Day weekend for some folks. I love that it's free. I think that's fantastic. So you're talking a little bit about the jazz here in Madison. What do you think about the local jazz scene?
I think it's good. There's compared to other cities of this size, I think we have a fairly decent jazz music scene. There's a lot of places to play. There's a lot of bands. If you go online or whatever, you would find that there's just about every night of the week there's some sort of a jazz jam going on. And there's also, through the Greater Madison Jazz Consortium, there's also a big effort to nurture high school jazz. Like, there's a lot of emphasis put on working and presenting the music of the high school jazz bands at East High, West, Middleton, everywhere. Sun Prairie's got a great jazz program too. So we're starting to bring in these younger kids and getting them interested and keeping
That'll keep it
the
thriving.
jazz idiom going. You're right. Because
Exactly.
some of us are getting old.
Before we go, Tony, talk about what's in the future for you and your band.
Well, we're almost finished with our new album. We hope to have it. We've been working on it for a couple of years, actually.
And you brought one with you.
Well, this is.
We have about 30 seconds left.
Yes.
If you want to
Okay.
give
Well,
that
this
a
is
shot.
Mambo and Muerte. This is an old album. We'll be playing a lot of music off of this because it's all original music on that this Friday for the Indigenous Jazz Series at the Central Public Library. But
okay.
we're working on a new album and hope to have that done by the end of the summer.
Oh, Okay, well,
So.
great. Good luck
All right.
with that new
Okay,
album.
Janet, thank you.
And I hope the event Friday night goes well too. If you want to join in, again, that's Friday night at Madison Central Library.
7:30, yes.
7:30, free admission.
Yes.
Hard to beat that. Thanks,
All
Tony.
right, thank you very much.
All righty,
Thank
you
you.
bet. We'll be
Okay.
right back right after this.